Hello again, and welcome back to Educator.com's Advanced PHP with MySQL course. In today's lesson, we're going to be learning how to upload files using the HTTP POST method. The first thing we're going to talk about is something known as post data encoding, which describes how the data that you submit from an HTML form using the POST method is encoded before it's sent to the web server so that the web server knows how to interpret it. We're actually going to go through the process of uploading some files, and then we're going to talk about what's known as the files superglobal, and basically that's PHP that's the way to access information about uploaded files from your PHP code. Our post data we've been accessing using the post superglobal, so we're still going to use that to access general post variable name value pairs, but for file uploads we're going to be using this new superglobal. And then additionally we're going to talk about once you've uploaded a file on an HTML form, how in your PHP script you can move that to a location that you want to, because when files are uploaded, they're uploaded to a temporary directory. So basically when the post method is used to submit an HTML form, data is encoded by default using URL encoding. We talked a little bit about that in our lesson on our review on HTTP, where we introduced the post method. So basically, when you use the post method to submit a form, it creates, as we learned in our HTTP lesson, there's a header of the HTTP that describes that it's using the post method. It tells a little bit about what the content is. There's a blank line, and then there's the body of that HTTP request, which contains the data that you're submitting on the form. Well, that data by default follows this content type called application slash, and this sort of long phrase here, which basically says it's URL encoded data. And actually, if we go and look at, for example, a form we're going to be working with today called enctype.html, which refers to encoding type, it's a form that is going to allow you to just basically submit a first name and a last name. Here we've explicitly set the encoding to this URL encoded form, but if we left it out by default, that would be the default. And so if we actually go ahead and submit the form, and we use our Firebug add-on to see what the post data looks like, and in this case we're just posting the data to the same file, enctype.html. If we look at our post data, we can see that here the data we supplied was URL encoded. Hopefully you can see that's a little bit small, and it says the content type was application slash x www form URL encoded. So that's the standard encoding for data submitted by a HTML form using post. However, when we want to upload a file, you need to change that encoding. You need to use a different type of encoding, and the content type and the encoding that you're going to be using is something called multi-part form data. And the way that you do that is by setting the enctype attribute of your HTML form tag. So if we go back and look at enctype.html, let me scroll over here, we can see that it was set to this URL encoding, which is the default anyways. And if we change it to multi-part form data, we're going to see that when we submit this form, even though we're not doing a file upload here, we're going to take a look at what how that data is encoded in the body of our post request. So if we go ahead and run the same form again, actually let me have to refresh it so that it updates with the new encoding type. We go ahead and submit the query, and if we look at our post data, we can see that it's very different. Whereas before, actually let me open up a second window so we can compare them. Just get rid of this so it goes to the default. So in the old way, our post data was formatted in this URL encoded method down here. Well, in the new method using the multi-part form data, what it actually does is it sets the content type to multi-part form data, and then it has our data that we submitted basically encoded in a different way. Here you can see that it's saying that we've submitted a variable called first name. The value of it is Matthew. The last name, we have a variable named last name. We're submitting the value for that Makaj. And basically the way that this works is it basically, for each input element that you have on a form that you submit, when you submit it using multi-part form data as the encoding, it basically defines this string known as a boundary, and basically in between it creates a boundary, and in between each boundary it has the information about each input element that was submitted. So here we have first name and last name. It's not really important how that encoding works. The browser does it for you, and PHP knows how to interpret that and understand it. But just to give you an idea of what's going on sort of behind the scenes when you use this multi-part form data, which is what we're going to be using for uploading files. So the way that we actually upload files using an HTML form is using an input tag that is the type file. And so we create this input tag, set the type equal to file, and then we associate a name to it, so our just as we would any other input element. So we're going to say that this file that we're going to be uploading is going to be associated with the name image file. And let's actually go take a look at a script that shows this in action. Uploadfile.html is a file we've created that basically is going to submit the form data using multi-part form data encoding. Look here at the end. But what we've actually done is added an extra input element here, a file input element called uploaded file. And so what we're going to do is we're going to try uploading a text file. And what we're going to do is the file is just called uploadfile.txt, and it just contains some basic text information. And then we're going to take a look at what the body of the post data looks like now that we've included an uploaded file. So if we go ahead and fill out the form as before, but this time we're going to include this uploadfile.txt, and we submit the form. If we go and look at our post data, the body of the post request, we can see that things have changed a little bit. We still have our two sections for the first name and last name variable. Here, first name is equal to Matthew, last name is equal to Makaj. But then we have a new section down here that's for our file that we uploaded. Here we can see the name that we gave to this upload file input element. It's called uploaded file. It lists the file name of the file we uploaded, which was called uploadfile.txt. And then it says, provides the content type of that file that we uploaded. In this case, it was plain text. And then it provides the information or the data of that particular file. And so that's how that the multi-part form data basically body changes a little bit when you add when you add a file to upload. Now, if we do the same thing, and that was on a text file, if we do it on a binary file, for example, an image, which is something we're going to be doing in our web application for uploading item images, and we submit the form, and we look at the post data, we can see everything is the same here, except that in our third section, the file name for uploaded file has been changed to the GIF file that we uploaded. The content type has been changed to image/GIF, which says the data that we've uploaded is the data file we've uploaded is a GIF file, and then this right here is the data of the GIF image. And basically, it's not legible because it's not text; it's binary data. But basically, this is the information contained in that GIF file, and the web server will know how to interpret that. Now, one thing to note is that if we go back and look at our slide, if you actually are trying to upload a file and you don't set the encoding type to multi-part form data, then the file doesn't actually get uploaded. And all that you end up getting is the name, a name value pair, which is the name of the input element, the file input element that you set in your form, in this case image file, and then its value gets set to the name of the file that you uploaded. So for example, excuse me, if we erase our encoding type from multi-part form data and just set it to the default save this file, and when we go refresh the file and we go and upload our form, try to upload an image file, and we submit it or post the form data, we can see that actually what it's done is it's encoded our data as URL encoded data. It has the first name and last name encoded as we'd expect, and then basically, as mentioned, it just says that the uploaded file variable is named blank GIF. So that's all the information. If this was data being posted to a PHP script, that's all the information you would get. The file would not actually have been uploaded. So that's one thing that's important to note is you have to be careful to appropriately set the encoding type for your form. So how do we access data or files that we've uploaded and information about those files in PHP? Well, we mentioned that in the lesson overview that there's another super global that PHP provides called _files, and basically that contains information about all of the different files that have been uploaded by a particular script. Basically, files it's a multi-dimensional array, and the keys of that array are the names of any input file elements that you had. So, for example, you can actually upload multiple files on a particular web page. So, for example, you could have multiple input file elements. Let's say we call this one uploaded file 2. And so the keys of this files array are the names of those file input elements. So for example, the way we would access information about the uploaded file input tag is we would use uploaded file as the key to the files array. Now what that's actually going to return is an associative array that contains information about that different file that was uploaded. So the file superglobal is basically a superglobal that provides information about all the files that a particular script or a particular form has uploaded. And then, as we know, the keys to that file are the names of any file input elements we have in our particular HTML form. And the information that it returns, the associative array that it returns for a particular uploaded image, has a couple of keys in it. The first one is the key name, which is the original name of the uploaded file. There's a type key, which is the content type of the uploaded file. So, for example, if we uploaded a GIF image, it would be image/GIF. A real important one is called temp_name, which is an absolute path to the temporary location of the uploaded file, because when you upload a file using an HTML form, it uploads it to a temporary directory. It has an error key, which provides an error code for the file upload that says if any problems occurred during the upload, and then it has a size key that says the number of bytes of the file that was uploaded. One thing to note is that an error code of 0 means that a file was successfully updated without any problems, and if you look at this link here, which is in the quick notes, you can take a look at some of the other errors that are possible to be set in that file superglobal. So if we go and look at our upload file.html, the action has actually been updated so that instead of just posting the information to itself, it's posting to a PHP script we've created called process file upload.php. Everything else in the form is the same. And if we look at our process file upload.php form, we can see that basically what we're doing is we're accessing the file superglobal, which is going to contain information about all of the uploaded files. In this case, we're saying give us the information about the file that was uploaded that was uploaded with the file input element named uploaded file. So if we look back at our form, we can see that our file input element had the name uploaded file, and then this is just going to output the data that's contained in that file's associative array. So if we actually go and try to upload a file again, now it's going to post it to this script. I'm not going to bother including a first and last name, just upload a file. If we upload a file, the text file, upload file.txt, and we go ahead and try and upload that, we can see here that the files array in the key uploaded file, it contains an associative array with this information, and this is what we had discussed in the slide we were just on. The name of the file that was uploaded was upload file.txt, and that's the name of the file on the client machine. The type of the file is a plain text file in this particular case. This right here, which is real important, lists the where that file has been temporarily saved, and we can see that it's been given this sort of random file name with a .tmp extension, and it's located in this temporary directory. We can see the error code was 0, which means it was successfully uploaded, and then also we can see that it was had 87 bytes, or that's how big the file was. By default, as mentioned, when you upload a file using an HTML form, it gets stored in a temporary directory. And by default, it gets stored in a temporary directory of the environment that PHP is running in. Now, one thing that you can do is there's a configuration directive in php.ini called upload tempdir, and that allows you to set where you want any uploaded files to be stored. In this case, in XAMPP, this upload tempdir directive is set to this temp directory in the XAMPP root directory. And so actually, if we go back and look at our script, we can see that that's actually what we have here is within our Windows user folder, we have our XAMPP folder, and then we have this TMP, this temp directory, and that's where it stores our uploaded files. So we have that configuration set in XAMPP, and by default, it's this directory here. Now, typically what you're going to want to do is you're not going to want to leave that in a temporary directory. You're going to want to move it somewhere. For example, if you're uploading an image of an item for our store, we're going to store it in the images directory for our application. Well, PHP provides a function called moveUploadedFile, which allows you to move a file from an uploaded file from the temporary directory to the directory of your choice. Now, the one thing to note is that whatever directory you're going to be moving into, you have to have write permissions on that directory, and specifically, the user that the PHP interpreter is running as has to have write directions on that directory. So let's take a look at a script that's going to use this moveUploadedFile function. So here's our script called moveUploadedFile.php, which we're going to basically post our form data to. At the beginning here, we have the same output as we had on our last form, where we're just updating the information related to the uploaded file. And then what we do is we're creating a string that's a path to where we want to move that uploaded file. In this particular case, we want to store it in our lecture examples directory, and we want to give it the same name that it was uploaded with. So the name that it was, the name of the original file on the client that was uploaded is in this position in the associative array, files associative array. So we go to files, we look up our uploaded file image, and then we get the name. And if we look back at our script, we can see name is the file that we've uploaded. So what we do is we basically create the path of where we're going to move it to, and in this particular case, we're just going to move it to the Lecture 9 Examples directory. We're going to name it the same name that was uploaded as. And basically, this is just a little information that's output that's saying we're moving the file from this temp location to this new location, and then here we run the move, or call the moveUploadedFile function. And what we do is we provide the source file. This takes two parameters. The first one is the source file of the path to the temporary file, and the temporary file is stored in this temp name key in the file's superglobal. Again, if we look back here, we can see that temp name for this particular file was stored as php b704.tmp. So when we provide this path to when we provide this value to our moveUploaded file, it's going to know where the temporary file is located, and then we're going to pass it the path to the new location where we're going to store the particular file. So let me just go and update the our upload file form so that it sends the data to this new moveUploaded file script. Go ahead and refresh that script. And if we look, actually, just so you know, right now the files we're uploading are located in the data directory of our Lecture 9 examples directory. And what we're going to be doing is uploading one of those files to this same directory where all of the scripts are. In this case, you can see that there's just two HTML files and a PHP file. So if we go ahead in our form and let's actually upload this blank GIF file, what we're going to be doing is uploading it and moving it to the directory, same directory as a script. When we submit the form, minimize this, we can say that the blank GIF was uploaded, or the name of the file we uploaded was blank.gif. It was a GIF file. This is the temporary name that it was assigned when it was uploaded to the XAMPP temp directory. There were no errors, and it had it was 799 bytes. Basically, here's our little output message that says the file was moved from this temp file name to our lecture examples lecture 9 directory, and it's called blank GIF, which is the same name of the file as it was originally uploaded. If we actually go back and look at our lecture 9 directory, we can see that blank GIF is now in there. And actually, if we go back and do it in the web browser, we can see that blank GIF has been uploaded into this file. So that's basically how you move a file from a temporary directory into the directory of your choice. So for today's homework challenge, I basically want you to create an HTML form that allows you to upload a file. So it's going to include a input element of the file of the file type, and then I want you to create a PHP script that's going to process the file upload. The script should output all of the information about the uploaded file that's contained in the files array. And if you remember, you're going to have to access that information by providing a key to files. And that key is going to be the name that you associate with your file input element. And then move the uploaded file from whatever temporary directory PHP assigned it to, which is, and the default XAMPP distribution is going to be XAMPP/temp, and then move it into the same directory as whatever script you create. So it's kind of be doing the same thing that we had done in our example in the lectures. And then just run the script and verify that the file was successfully moved to where it was supposed to be. Couple things to make sure of is make sure that you appropriately set the encoding type attribute of your HTML form tag to multi-part form data, because otherwise it's not going to work. It's not going to update the file, and you won't be able to access any information about the file in that file superglobal. And then also, when moving the file, I want you to make use of the move uploaded file that's built into PHP. So that ends today's lesson. Thank you for watching Educator.com. Look forward to seeing you next time.